Hello everyone and welcome. In August, I had open abdominal surgery for a vascular compression called median arcuate ligament syndrome. I am about 10 months post-op and it has been a long 10 months. And I'm not gonna lie, recovery has been hard. I have to continuously remind myself that recovery is a marathon and not a sprint. This type of surgery takes time and a lot of patience, and I have to keep reminding myself of that one. One thing that I've noticed since sharing my MALS journey and recovery on social media is that there are a lot of misconceptions about this condition. MALS is a condition that is not well known amongst medical professionals, and there's limited research about this condition in general. So for this video, I wanted to share and debunk some misconceptions about this condition. So here are 3 misconceptions about median arcuate ligament syndrome. Number 1, everyone with MALS has a feeding tube or is TPN dependent. This is false. An individual can still have median arcuate ligament syndrome and not need nutritional support such as a feeding tube or TPN. Oftentimes with this condition, because it's not well known amongst medical professionals, individuals can go months to years struggling with their symptoms and finding answers to their symptoms. Number 2, having the surgery means you are cured and the compression won't return. While surgery can fix this compression, there is still the potential for this condition to return, recompressing the celiac artery. Scar tissue development is one cause of recompression. You know, the human body is complex, so it's important to remember that what works for one person may not always work for the next person. Just give yourself grace during the time of recovery if it's not going exactly how you imagined it going. I know that I have to constantly remind myself of that. And finally, number 3, if you are unable to eat after surgery, the surgery failed. This is a misconception that is somewhat controversial, but it really shouldn't be. Each individual will react differently to procedures and treatments. A diagnosis may also present differently from one person to another. In the instance of MALS, surgery may help a person to be able to eat again, but in another person, they may still struggle with eating after surgery. A lot of the times, people with MALS also present with delayed gastric emptying or gastroparesis, and so it would make sense that after surgery, people are still struggling to eat because lack of blood flow has caused their stomach to not work as effectively and things like that. So it would make sense that after surgery, they'd have to retrain their stomachs to be able to tolerate food a bit more and a bit better. In my case, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which led to my diagnosis of POTS, MCAS, and gastroparesis. Ehlers-Danlos does put me at a greater risk of having these compressions to recompress because my ligaments tend to be weaker and a bit more floppy compared to the average person. MCAS and gastroparesis specifically impact my ability to eat and how much nutrition I am able to get. With MCAS, it's really hard to continuously eat and to find foods to eat when you're constantly reacting to different foods and different environmental factors. With gastroparesis, as I mentioned before, for some people it takes time for their stomach to keep working again and to sort of get back in their groove. And that is my video. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you for joining in and listening to the things that I had to say. Thank you. Bye.